Good day, learners. Welcome again to our science class. It's me, Teacher Lynn, your science teacher. Changing solid materials. Before we are going to proceed with our discussion, let us first have a short review. Direction: choose the letter of the best answer. Write the chosen letter on a separate sheet of paper. Number 1. You need your uniform the next morning, but it just got wrinkled from the dryer. What are you going to use to straighten the wrinkles in your uniform? A. Cut using a scissor. B. Crumple it using your hand. C. Fold it into two. And letter D. Press it with an iron. The answer is letter D. Press it with an iron. Number 2. A ruler can change its size and shape if you blank it. A. Hammer. B. Press. C. Bend. D. Melt. The answer is letter C. Bend. Number 3. If we want to change the size and shape of a bottle cap or tanzan, what should we use? A. Bare hand. B. Hammer. C. Flat iron. D. A scissor. The answer is B. Hammer. Number 4. You get a chocolate drink in a box with a straw included behind it. What did you notice about the straw? A. It breaks. B. It bends. C. It floats. D. It strikes. The answer is letter B. It bends. And for the last, number 5. Which material can be easily cut using a scissor? A. Paper. B. Marble. C. Nail. D. Glass bottle. And the answer is letter A. Paper. Let us have again another activity. Shoot it. Choose the solid materials that can be bent, pressed, hammered, or cut. Can you name the solid materials that can be bent? How about solid materials that can be pressed? And materials that can be hammered or cut. Now, let us read. Hi kids, good day to all of you. It's me, your friend, Mr. Solid Pencil. Welcome to the world of matter. As you can see, I am in a solid form. Solids are known to hold their shape, and they don't flow like liquid. A rock will always look like a rock unless something happens to it. Solids can hold their shape because their molecules are tightly packed together, just like this. Look around your room. Try touching and analyze the things that you can see. All the materials inside your room now that you can hold and see are most likely solids. Can you try using your senses with these materials? Can you see, touch, and smell them? And can you also feel if it is hard or soft? All solids can take up space and has a mass. Solids also has a shape of its own. When you see them and touch them, you can easily describe their characteristics or properties. Do you also know that solids like me have different characteristics or properties? Like our size, shape, texture, and also color. We can alter these characteristics by making changes like bending, pressing, hammering, and cutting. I know you have ideas in your mind about what materials can you change the properties. Can you grab your pen and paper? List them on. Are you now ready to answer some activities? Now, let us go on the next section of this module and understand more about the properties of solid. Now, I have here 4 questions for you to answer. Question number 1. What kind of matter that has definite shape and mass, hard, and they don't flow like water? Question number 2. Why solids can hold their shape? Question number 3. What are the different characteristics of solid? And question number 4. Is there a way that can we change solid materials? What are those? Let us have activity number 1. In each picture, think about how the shape has been changed. Write it on a sheet of paper. Let us have another activity. Put a check to show the appropriate way of changing the solid. I will only give you 3 minutes to finish the activity. Remember that one way of changing solid materials is by bending. When we say bending, it is the act of causing to bend or the act of being bent or deflected. Another is by pressing. Pressing is the act of exerting strong pressure. Example, pressing a garlic. When you press the garlic, you are exerting force or you are exerting strong pressure. Another example of pressing is that when you prepare a bread, you are pressing the dough. Another example is pressing your clothes. Another way of changing solid materials is by hammering. When we say hammering, it is just like hitting with a hammer. You should always remember that when we say solid, a solid has definite shape and volume. You can hold solids. Solid materials also have different characteristics or properties such as the size, shape, color, texture, and weight. Solid materials can be changed through many ways: by cutting, tearing, folding, twisting, bending, stretching, pressing, coloring, crumpling, melting, and others. And always remember that such actions may change the material's size, shape, texture, color, and other characteristics or properties of a solid material. Now, let's find out what happens to solids when bent, pressed, and hammered. Let's explain. Do you wonder what might happen to solids when bent, press, or even use a hammer on it? Let us know from this friendly community helper. Hi kids, my name is Cart. Do you know what I do for a living? Yes, you guessed it right. I am a carpenter. Today, I am going to make a pretty house. Could you help me out? Okay, let's go! When we are building anything, we are dealing with different kinds of solid materials. But hey, before we can make something out of these solids, we can change their characteristics by bending, pressing, or even hammering them. We learned in the previous lesson that solid materials have different characteristics that we can change. Can you give some examples of these characteristics? To make a house, we need to bend some materials. Bending is making a straight object into a curved one. Now, can you find a small metal just to try it out? Let's say a paperclip. What have you observed about the paperclip when you bend it? Also, we need to press some materials. What is pressing? Pressing is to apply pressure to something to flatten the shape or smooth it. That is by Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Can you think of any situation wherein you can use pressing to change the properties of a material? What do you think is the difference between bending and pressing? That is correct. When you bend a material, the straight form becomes curved. And when you press a material, it becomes straight or flattened. We are almost done with our project. But before that, we should also know what is hammering. When we hammered a material, we used to beat, strike, or pound the object. As a carpenter, we use tools like a hammer to strike materials to change the properties. Now, we are done. Hooray! You are now ready to answer the activities in this lesson. You should always remember that solid materials can be bent. When bent, these materials may change their size and shape, but no new material is formed. Only the physical appearance of the material is changed. Another, solid materials can be pressed. When pressed, these materials change their size and shape, sometimes even texture, but no new material is formed and only the physical appearance is changed. Also, solid materials can be hammered using a hammer tool. When hammered, they may change their size and shape and even texture. However, no new material is formed because only the physical appearance is changed. Let us now answer the following activities. Enjoy and have fun. That's all for now. Thank you. Goodbye. See you again on our next lesson.